Well, let's get a little paint on here. This line is going. I think that's really kind of where I want my lighter lights. But let's just be a bit brave. I've got some ultramarine blue raw umber and what else do I have there? Alizarin crimson. I'm not going to paint on the trees or right around the trees just yet. I'm just going to try to establish some color in places. My knife strokes will be heading off in various directions. Small piles again. Just trying to keep that paint alive. Too large a pile of paint tends to become overmixed pretty easily. Alright, that's good, I like that. I like that okay for the time being. It's going to change as our painting goes along, as it always does. It's a bit blue. Do a little purple and a little higher value. I guess I am going against the trees a little bit. Or touching, butting up to them. I would rather do it now than later. I'll just grab my smaller knife here and cut into this one a little bit. I think that's, I want to start getting warmer and lighter there. Okay. Raw umber is a color that in a warm room, if I do not get my sky pretty much covered today, by tomorrow morning it will have a bit of a skin on it. So I'm kind of committing to getting the sky mostly done today. So I'm just going to, now that I've jumped in with both feet, I'm going to load up a bunch of paint on my palette. Alright, so we're getting a bunch of paint on here. And finding our feet, so to speak. I'm bringing in a little more cobalt blue now. going really thick with the paint, but I'm going thick enough so that as we carry on, I'm going to be able to carve out bits, lay in other bits, steal paint from some areas to introduce to other areas, and I can do some of that right on the canvas. I don't have to go back to my palette for that. Going to both sides a little bit. A little more white there. Keeping that sky alive. So you can see how, in one knife stroke you'll see a smearing of some various colors in different ratios. And personally, I quite like that. Whoops, I was going to say a little bit of yellow ochre and I ended up grabbing way too much. That's okay. I'm going to add a little bit of raw umber to it. Tone it down a bit. Still a bit of alizarin crimson. And just show how our light's going to start coming through here. This can be quite a fun part. You get so much of that reward so quickly. That's a little too dark for my first go around. Let me just throw a little more yellow ochre over that. This is another canvas that's actually a little looser than I like. I don't even have to push very hard, and I'm touching the upright mullion of the stretcher bar. Boy, I am not impressed with this canvas. Way too loose. Well, I might just have to tighten it up once it's painted. Not the worst thing. But, you know, as I've said before, when you buy a pre-stretched, prepared canvas, that's what you're supposed to be getting. And when I bought it, I could not tell. It came in a plastic wrapper, and I've never had really much of a problem before, so... Oh, these things happen, I guess. Okay, more raw umber, more yellow ochre. Another shot of white. Sorry, I'm just going to have to get in your way here for a moment. Or I end up with too much glare. Okay, we have some of that there. We're going to come down here with it as well. And we're going to want some of that also around here. And we'll keep going off the edge of that canvas there. Same color, more or less. A little bit colder. Change the angle here a little bit. That might help. Might help keep me out of your way. Okay. So I'm getting it covered. And you know, there are spots where I blur the lines too much, and there are spots where I where I overblend or where I underblend. So I'll go over the entire sky again and just correct and groom and finesse some small areas, you know, if anything bothers me. this alizarin crimson and yellow ochre in the sky as well, I think. This is kind of dark, but it's quite colorful. No, it's not too dark, it's just fine. Let's use this a little bit of nice variety up here. I'm not adding much alizarin crimson because you end up with a very strong pink, and it's not a pink I'm overly fond of. Personal taste. Pink can get kind of cold, and I'm not shooting for cold. I want to keep this painting reasonably warm. The sky can be cooler because I want this to stand out as to be very warm. But, you know, bits of everything everywhere kind of thing, ish, in some sort of an organized fashion will do the job for us. Yeah, the most intense of the light will be in here. I'd like to carry it back up. I think I'm going to mix up a little bit more of that pink. See what happens here. That pink, that warm pink. With little streaks of white and little streaks of yellow ochre showing through. Okay, we'll carry on a little more to the right with this. And then we'll go again yellow ochre and alizarin crimson. Adding more alizarin crimson this time because I'm going to give it a touch of ultramarine blue. So that's going to make us go in the direction of some purple here. Quite a hot purple, hot pink. Don't know how much of that'll stay. I'm not worried about it. Again, it's variety. Variety, the key to a rich painting. More of that. And we'll go a little bit purpler now. Oops, that value is a bit high. And that chroma might be a little bit high. Yeah, I might be going a little bit too much in the direction of some kind of candy. It's okay. Again, that's a worry for later. I think we can fairly boldly put in some more color in this area. Because this canvas is so loose, I think I'm going to need to go, when I go into it again, I'm going to need to use my smaller knife. It's just a little easier to manipulate on a looser surface. Okay. Okay, getting closer, getting closer. Okay, I don't really like that. That's a little too red up there. Might leave hints of it, but I don't want to bob. And that purple's a little too purple. So, what I'm going to do is bring up this yellow ochre and raw umber, and tone down the candy colors. Make that sky too attractive and nobody's going to want to look down here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I don't think I want to go down with this. I think I want to come up with this. This is long, this is long. We'll make this is shorter, so I think we'll make that a little bit higher. Okay. And we'll get back to our grays here. I'll bring this to a certain point and then just so you can sort of see where it's all going. That's pretty blue because I don't want to stay that blue because this is going to be a little bluer. So I think I'm going to have to go a little purple there again. Raw umber, a little bit of white, a little more alizarin crimson. Where do we go? Yeah, that's looking more like it. A bit of debris in there. Some white flakes. Where's all this weight coming from? Okay. Okay, we'll call that covered. There are little voids all over the place, as you can see. And I'm not worried about that, that's just part of the plan. But I'm going to take the rest of the day to do some grooming, and with a smaller knife, cut, around these trees and the foreground. Kind of laborious. And when you see this guy complete, you'll recognize it, but it will have changed quite dramatically, because those little final bits here and there, well, they'll just serve to change it a bit. Not a lot. Color scheme's going to stay more or less like it is. But yeah, I think I want to sit down now, and I'll have to do a lot of this two-handed stuff to be accurate enough. Okay. See you soon.